We're live, though, so we should do this.
This is awesome. This is what you would expect from two middle-aged
Amateurs?
dads in plaids. So this is our second episode, and welcome to the Utah Homes HQ YouTube channel.
We're
And as
basically
you know,
professionals. This is now a full-time job.
Well,
I just
yeah.
want to make that announcement.
sequels are always the best. So since this is our second video, right? That's how it works. Are you wearing plaid today?
This is plaid, right?
Yeah. Okay. Dads in plaids. So this is Utah Homes HQ YouTube channel. The sequel, Dads in Plaids.
Dads in plaid. We ain't sad, we're glad. We're dads in plaid.
We're gonna start a trend.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like that. I think you should leave sketch where they go into Dan Flash's to buy those crazy shirts. We're gonna start our own plaid
There's
shirt
the craziest
shop.
patterns.
Dads in plaids. Everybody's coming, right? Oh, when you see a store like that, you go in. You do. Okay.
We could spend a solid hour doing this, and we have. But we'll make a separate video on that because you're clearly tuning in because of that gotcha headline.
Yes.
Fourth cheapest in the country?
Could it be? What's the answer, Jake? Is it?
Well, apparently, let's jump in here. So
It's kind of a yes, but.
okay, so everybody reads. Everybody's getting a ton of real estate related news articles. Probably more so us than anybody because the algorithms would indicate that we're interested in the topic.
Yeah.
Which is true. And so I read almost all of these articles that come across my Google. And we're going to grab a lot of those and kind of do response videos and see what's up because this will surprise no one. A lot of these articles are just clickbait. There's not a lot of substance to them.
Yeah.
I know I've shared a lot of those with you and Gary. And so these are fluff. There's almost nothing to it. So
Yeah.
on Facebook's KSL page,
It's been said about me before.
nothing but fluff.
Oh.
It's okay. Can you be restuffed like Pooh Bear?
Yeah, sometimes I'll deflate.
Have you been stuck getting out of the hole of your bear den because of an overconsumption of honey? Oh, Pooh. Oh, my God. I'm not good at voices.
Bear.
Never mind. You know what? If there ever was a reason to cut and start over, this is it. But we're going forward.
Yeah.
We're not stopping. We're live.
We can't stop now.
Okay, so the news article that caught my attention was Utah is the fourth cheapest state to build in. And I said, what? Is that even true? So here's the article. We're going to post it in below the video. As you click on it, it then says Utah is among the 18 states where it's cheaper to build than buy a home.
Yeah.
This didn't really resonate with my brain and my experience.
No.
So let's get into it here just a little bit. I'm going to go to I'm going to try a different screen here. And hold on. I got to click on it.
One of the things in the article, Hawaii actually is the cheapest compared with the cost to purchase a home, the median price of purchasing a home, which seems crazy. But then in Utah, the median home sale price is $635,000, and the cost to build is $538,000, a $97,000 difference. But there's a lot of caveats there.
There are so many. So this company I've never heard of. I don't know what Storage Cafe is. It would seem like a new tech startup that's putting cafes in storage units.
Because after you've unloaded a brand new thing into your storage
You're
unit,
hungry.
yeah,
You need a snack.
You need a cafe.
So so this is what the breakdown is, as BJ already mentioned, with Hawaii at the top of this list. I want to know, could you really get away with building at that? Now, this does not say that this is sales price. This is costs. And so
Yeah.
that's a big question that we have here.
But it does kind of say in the article that you could save this amount if you chose to build over buying. But that's not accurate, I don't
It
think.
doesn't make any sense. Hawaii
Yeah.
being one of the most expensive areas for real estate in the world, this just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And then Utah, let's just get into our Utah stuff here. You can see that $538,000 to build, $635,000 is the median single-family home list price. That seems a little high. That seems more Salt Lakey numbers than a
Yeah.
Utah median.
Yeah.
In fact, we're going to do a video on that here in just a bit. But these are the articles you can click on and see what they're talking about. Apparently, it's more expensive to build in areas. Let's go all the way to the bottom. Pennsylvania. It's way more expensive to build in Pennsylvania than it is to buy an existing home.
And some of that, I would assume, has to do with the lack of land available, maybe? Is that part of it?
Maybe it's the lack of people wanting to live in Pennsylvania.
That could be, too.
Shout out to my Pennsylvania bros, which I have none. Never been there, never met somebody. Well, that's probably not true. Okay, let's get back into this article. So they do have some local representation to kind of give their opinions on some things. Now, this article just came out a couple weeks ago. I'm going to try not to make people dizzy here. I'm just looking for what I wanted to discuss.
One thing I think is interesting, the top 4 states where it's cheaper to build than to buy, Hawaii, California, Colorado, and Utah, also have very high median home prices. So, maybe one conclusion you can kind of draw is, yeah, it's cheaper to build in these states simply because the cost of real estate has gone up so much that you may find a better option building.
Yeah.
And also, that's where the inventory is in a lot of cases. But
well, and we're going to put this. There's a local realtor that got some mention on there. I'm not going to give him a lot of attention. You'll have to read the article. This is our channel. The current housing market has made it much easier to get seller concessions. This has been true. It's not 100% that way. Really, a popular program that has come into play with interest rate increases has been the 2-1 buy down. Now, this is something that the seller has to pay for, where they buy down that rate for the first 2 years. It's very expensive. With an increase in activity, 2-1 buy downs, they seem to come and go super quick.
yeah,
Right? Maybe if you come across a listing that's been on the market a super long time, you've got a very motivated seller. They might be willing to contribute the $10,000 to $15,000 to cover this. One thing I did want to touch on here is the growth rate. Utah, for the last 10 years, has been the fastest growing state, with a large influx coming from coastal states like California. There's definitely truth to that. I can't say that it's not purely Californians. We're getting people from all over, but we have a lot of people, just homegrown people that need a home. They're finally moving out of the basements. They're sick of that, and they want to get their own place. Now, here's one thing that I wanted to spend a little bit of time on. Bear with me as we go through this. So, the idea is that it's cheaper to build than it is to buy existing. So we're going to put this on display, and hopefully you can see this very clearly. So I have our MLS is up. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more on this. So you can see it really good. So what we're looking at here is we're going to look at active listings. We're just going to take one little sample size. If this sample size isn't very helpful to you because you don't live in these areas, get a hold of us and we'll run the same test for you. So looking at just Layton, Kaysville, Syracuse, and Clearfield, kind of a big area in the Davis County. I was going to say in the Davis County area. That's very repetitive. Okay, so if we look at older homes between 1985 and 1995, between 3,000 and 4,000 square feet, Let's move this on up, and we see we only have 3 options that are active listings right now. Come over here, take a quick peek at these. We've got a 6,000 square foot home built in '86. Did I say 6,000 square feet? $600,000 home.
Yeah.
3,800 square feet built in '86 in Layton. I got another one in Layton, 3,300 square feet, $600,000 built in '91. We're not going to give you the full tour of these. You just kind of get the basic point. And then about a $789,000 home built in '93 in Kaysville that's 3,500 square feet. So within those parameters, only 3. Now, I'm going to bump this up to new construction, 2022 and 2023. Now we have 17. We go from 3 to 17 when we go from old stuff to new construction within those same areas.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through all of these like I did the last time because there's so much more. You have to assume that most of these will come on what we call postage stamp lots, where land is such a premium. Builders and communities have had to increase density, zoning, and so these lots are not going to be sprawling. Certainly on the low end, we've got $540,000 home on 3,300 square feet in the lovely metropolis of Clearfield. On the flip side of that, the bookend it is in Kaysville. No surprise, a much more expensive area. $875,000, 3,800 square feet. So you have so many more options with new construction than you do in the existing market.
Yeah.
So just by default, from an inventory sampling, we are going to have way more to choose from with new construction. It makes more sense. And then as you, what do clients say when you show them older homes and even stuff in the 90s, which is difficult to say is an older home, is it not?
It just doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
I remember helping my parents build a home in 1994.
Yeah.
And anyways, they're old. They're old homes, whether it was built in 60, 70, 80, or 90, they all need to be fully updated and remodeled.
Yeah.
So it's the new car smell it's very lucrative, very intoxicating.
Yeah.
And most people are going to go that way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, when given the option between the two, you're going to choose new over a 40-year-old house that needs 100,000 plus of updating. One other thing I noticed, those top 4 states, Hawaii, California, Colorado, and Utah, they have the highest median home listing price in all of the country, with the exception of Massachusetts. And Massachusetts is only slightly higher than Colorado. So that, I guess that's another factor, right, is just the prices are so high, you're likely to have a better chance of, having a bigger discrepancy between existing and new construction. So,
in summary,
is it true? Yes.
Is it true? Yeah. I mean, so locally, you're going to have more options. Now, again, we could run the spectrum on this thing. This was the first sample size. It's not like I cherry picked this sample size.
Right.
And in order to show there was such a discrepancy from inventory with the older to the newer, this was just the first shot. It may not play out in every area. Like if we went into like Sugar House, there's just not as much new construction there.
Yeah.
A lot of it is they've knocked down old stuff and built new stuff that is up there. So we could find some other areas where this wouldn't play out to be nearly as true. But
it feels more like it's the exception, not the rule. Like I have clients under contract on a new construction over $800,000, and there were no options to build a home on that same lot for $538,000, like it says here.
Not at all.
It's in West Davis County. It's not a super high cost area, but it's pretty good sample of what we run into mostly. So I think that's the exception. You might find a few houses in that, but for them to say, almost present it like, hey, here's the average building cost. I don't think that's accurate. Like, you might find a few houses in this price range you could build, but it's going to be hard, and it's probably not going to be the house that you're super excited about building.
And I guess more directly, the headline that caught my attention was Utah is the 4th cheapest. Does not mean cheap.
Right, exactly.
So when we look at the scale of things, it's
yeah, that's a good. I mean, the cost is $538 in Utah, but there's other states where you could build much cheaper. Like Texas is $361,000. So is Tennessee. Even some of the states where you would think, oh, you'd be paying a lot more. New York is $524,000. So yeah, kind of an interesting.
Well, and even that with New York, like, okay, what does that mean? Because
Right,
you've got
that means upstate New York.
upstate
that means
New York,
rural.
yeah, where it's very rural. You know, you're going to throw the metropolitan area right out the window.
Right.
So, anyways, if you are interested in new construction, give us a call. Let's talk about it. Now, there's a whole other discussion. Oh, okay, well, who's a good builder?
Yeah.
All of that other stuff. We're not going to go into this tremendous detail on who we like and who we don't like. I don't want to disparage anybody and get, that's a private conversation of over the 20 years we've had.
Right.
Who you want to build with and who we would recommend staying away from based on personal experience and experience of others in the industry.
We've had some doozies.
Yes.
And yeah, you feel bad for what some of our clients have had to endure because of, there's just simply some contractors that do a better job than others. So.
Yeah, and not so much even from construction, just the procedural experience.
Exactly.
And anyways, I think we've beat this topic into the ground. So thanks for bearing with us as we are figuring this whole thing out. Remember to like and subscribe. Where's my finger? My finger's over here. Wasn't in the camera shot. Remember to like and subscribe. Let us know the things you want us to talk about, and enjoy.
Thanks.